Hello. The plane crash in China has attracted the world's attention. Currently, though the investigation into the accident is still underway and the results have not been announced. But experts have analyzed that the plane crash was intentional and that it was the pilot who flew the plane into the ground. Why do they say that? Let's find out together. At 1:11 p.m. on March 21st, Flight MU5735 took off from China's Kunming to Guangzhou, a short flight lasting about 2 hours as expected. However, when it was only flying for more than half of the way, i.e. 1 hour and 10 minutes, it suddenly plunged to the ground and exploded, leaving all passengers and crew without survivors. So what caused the plane to crash and cause such a disaster? Many theories have been put forward, including the weather was so bad that the plane lost control, or the plane had technical problems, the engine failed, or the plane was shot, or maybe the pilot fainted, or suicide, or the pilot was threatened by someone. It could also be a stranger who took control of the plane like September 11th. There are many theories put forward. To find the answer, it was hoped that someone on the plane survived to tell the whole story, but unfortunately, the rescue team announced that no one survived in this accident. Therefore, leading aviation experts analyzed the available information and combined it with historical experience to find out the cause of the accident. The first is about the weather. According to the China Meteorological Administration, that day at the accident site at 2 p.m., the temperature here was about 30 degrees, the wind was normal, it was forecasted to rain in the evening. But when the plane crashed, and before that, it didn't rain, visibility was more than 10 miles. In general, the weather is completely normal, there is nothing unstable, so the cause can be eliminated due to the weather. Next, let's look at the technical problem hypothesis. Looking at the plane's altitude chart on Flight Radar 24 page, we will see that the plane started off normally, then it remained at 29,000 feet for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. And then suddenly at 2:20 p.m. the plane plunged rapidly from an altitude of 29,000 feet. It crashed into a hill in just 1 minute 30 seconds. Normally, if a serious technical problem occurs, such as an engine failure, aircraft are still designed to glide through the air and slowly decrease in altitude by a few feet per minute. But in this case, the plane fell at an altitude of 29,000 feet in just 1 minute and 30 seconds. Obviously it was straight into the ground, not gliding. A camera in China has also recorded the plane crashing into the ground. According to aviation experts, the probability of the plane failure of this accident is extremely low. It is very unlikely that there is an incident that causes the plane to fall so straight. If so, it must be beyond our imagination. It's like the plane lost both wings, otherwise there would be no way. Looking at the crashes in history, we see the 2018 plane crash in Indonesia and the 2019 plane crash in Ethiopia as rare accidents due to technical problems. Both plane crashes involved a specific model of aircraft. It's a Boeing 737 MAX, an upgraded version of the Boeing 737-800. The 737 MAX was upgraded by moving the engine slightly forward to reduce noise. However, this move affects aerodynamics, and to solve the problem, the designers had to install an additional sensor to balance. Unfortunately, the faulty sensor caused 2 serious accidents. Also, because of this incident, Boeing was fined $2.5 billion by the US government. But the plane that crashed in China was a Boeing 737-800 model that has been in use for many years. It's a reliable model, considered one of the safest passenger jets, and has not had a single crash. Therefore, the cause of temporary technical failure can be ignored. What about an attack from outside the plane? This doesn't sound possible because the plane doesn't fly over the conflict area, so it can't be shot down by mistake. But the possibility of a commercial plane shooting at such an altitude of 29,000 feet is extremely rare, unprecedented in history, so this reason should be ruled out. So the most likely problem is from the pilot of the plane. Maybe the pilot has a health or mental problem that makes him lose control or intentionally controls the plane to go straight down. But it is also possible that the plane was threatened by terrorists who forced it to do so. This cause has happened in history, and it is very possible. Especially in the altitude chart of Flight Radar 24 page, there is a very strange detail. That is, when the plane fell to a height of 7,400 feet, somehow it didn't fall again, but flew up to 8,600 feet, and then fell again and exploded on the ground. So was there an attempt to get the plane up? Were the people inside the plane trying to jostle for control? Currently, the rescue force has found 2 black boxes. The data inside is still intact and has been sent to Beijing for analysis. Hopefully we will soon get the results of the accident from the black box. After the accident, many of you feel afraid of flying, but please rest assured that 1 in every 100 million flights has an accident. This rate is lower than your odds of being in an accident while riding a motorbike, a car, and even a fall caused by a pedestrian fall. So you can rest assured that you can fly by plane. Thank you for watching the video, goodbye and see you again.